The times have changed, but the words of the Second Amendment have not. My name is Megan Wenzel, and I'm here today to talk to you about a proposed amendment given by the 109th Congress in their term from 2005 to 2006. Their proposed amendment was to clarify the meaning of the Second Amendment, which reads, "A well-regulated militia, being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed." So some people don't understand what really needs to be clarified, but Congress thought that who exactly the right was given to was a little fuzzy. They are debating between a well-regulated militia and the right of the people. These two areas are kind of separated and they don't overlap, so Congress thought it would be a good idea to clarify exactly who has this right. So to look at this, we're going to look at both sides of the argument. But before we do, I'm going to take a poll on who thinks that it's the right of the people to keep and bear arms. Okay, so everybody kind of agrees. So the first side of the debate is the state's right. U.S. legal refers to a militia as a body of citizens armed and trained by the state for military service apart from the regular armed forces. This helps in kind of backing up what the meaning of a militia was back when the Second Amendment was written. Back then, there was no federal army to defend the United States of America. So each state was given the right and responsibility to create their own militia. Therefore, the right of to arm those militias was given to the state. These militias were responsible with providing for the common defense, which is written in the preamble of the Constitution. And directly from the Second Amendment, the right is only if necessary to the security of a free state. Some present-day statistics to back up this. A couple of shootings that you may have heard of. The Aurora, Colorado shooting. 12 people were murdered in a movie theater. Also, Sandy Hook shooting. 20 children, ages 6 to 7, and 6 adults were killed at an elementary school. And a lot of people who think it's the states' rights propose the argument that if we had stricter gun control laws, maybe these horrific incidences would not have happened. The Progressive Cynic, a political blogger who researched statistics to go against individuals owning rights, presented these statistics. The U.S. has the highest number of gun-related murders in all of the developed countries, which is a lot. Laws for gun control have successfully prevented 2 million criminals from purchasing guns, which is a lot of prevented injuries or deaths even, or incidences such as those shootings. On the other hand, the people's right, people use the Second Amendment to back up this argument because it says in the Second Amendment the right of the people to keep and bear arms. So the people have this right to prevent abuse or misconstruction by the government. So if the people feel that the government is misusing their powers, or for say a dictatorship starts, the Bill of Rights says that we have a right to take up arms against the government in order to prevent anything bad from happening. It also says that the Fourth Amendment also says that we have the right to be secure in our persons, in our houses. A lot of people say that having the security of a weapon in our house allows us to be secure in our persons, in our houses. So some present-day statistics to back up that. The FBI says that homicide rates have decreased by over 50% since 1980. Something to go along with that is that gun ownership has doubled in the late 20th century, so about the same time. The Heritage Foundation says the programs to collect guns have not been proven to reduce gun violence. Yes, we collected a lot of guns, but it doesn't actually prove that they reduce the amount of gun violence in today's society. Individuals are less likely to be harmed by armed attackers. It was said that between 1.2 and 1.5 million times a year, people use guns that they have in their house to protect themselves from these armed attackers. The number of mass killings involving firearms has reached its peak in 1929 and has since been on the decline. So, still to this day, this topic has not been resolved by Congress. They still can't decide whether it's completely the state's rights to restrict its people from having guns or allow its people to have guns, or if the people have the right, as it says in the Constitution, that some people argue that it's strictly the people's rights. As the second poll, has anyone changed their opinion on whether it's the state or the people's rights? Nope. Okay, does anyone have any questions? Yes.
Do you think the Congress will ever address this issue and resolve it?
I don't think it would ever get resolved, just because we take a different meaning from the Second Amendment than it was originally supposed to have, and I think that gray area will kind of always be there. Anyone else? Yes?
So Congress is trying to decide whether it's exclusively the state's rights or the individual rights? That's what they're trying to decide?
Yes, a lot of court cases can't be, a lot of the Supreme Court cases can't be decided upon because the amendment mentions both militias, which are state regulated, and the people. So, for example, if the state is going up against an individual on a problem that involves the Second Amendment, the Supreme Court can't make a definitive ruling because both parties are mentioned in the Second Amendment.